All right, everybody. Welcome back to the third video with Jill Lowry.
Yay, welcome back.
We've been having fun kind of unpacking her story a little bit and her work experience and life experience. And so if you haven't seen the first two videos, go back and find them. The first one was on her family, wonderful parents, and why she's wonderful because of that, like we all are, who've had we're gracious that we were raised by wonderful parents. We all know what happens as a result of that. Secondly, we talked about her stint in corporate America and the effectiveness she had in that space, which is really cool. And then apparently there was a shift that started with a beach trip with her friend Susan. And so today we're going to talk about what came as a result of her kind of taking a break, stepping away, figuring out what that next step was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of a crisis, which is actually a good time to make a decision, because she had proved to be effective in what she was doing. It's actually really cool that you did that and had the awareness for that before you were forced to make that decision. That's usually when the best decisions are made.
Yeah. My health was forcing me, really. I mean, it was clear that the stress was taking a toll, and it took me a while to zero in on why. What was that? And a change needed to be made, but what to do, right? So it seems like if you go to the beach, right, and you just kind of send your thoughts out with those waves, and like it sends you new things. And
goes out with the tide.
So it sent me a franchise broker. And so wow, that hit a note, right? My parents own their own businesses my whole life and still love it. So how do I own my own business? And something that I could do here in Louisville near my brother and his family, my precious nephews. And so I started taking a look at franchises, and I had a lot of personality testing and things like that. What kind of business owner would you be? What would you be good at? All those great things. And once they said Schooley Mitchell and described it to me, it was going to be business to business, going to involve a lot of finance and accounting, that kind of thing. And it's contingency fee based. So if I do work with a business and I'm not able to find cost savings for them, that's it. We part as friends.
Cool.
So in order to, my fees would be contingency based, so a portion of the savings. So I'm not actually costing the business anything. And I was like, wow, that is doing good in the world.
Yeah, one of the things we touched in the first video was your parents being business owners and how they were in a small town. And so your dad as a veterinarian, obviously his reputation is really key. And we were talking about how being on brand is really important while being a business owner, and just how the authenticity made that happen naturally, which is really cool. In the second video, we talked about your effectiveness. What I'm kind of hearing is that this franchise melded those two together.
It really did.
You knew you could be effective at the work that this business would do, and you felt that it would also lend itself to what you admired about your parents being business owners. Is that about right?
And doing good for others. Absolutely. You got it.
Cool. And, I think that's really cool that your business works that way, where that's not salesy at all.
Right.
I mean, that's like, look, if I'm not effective, I make no money. So, and it may be like, and usually the case would be that if you couldn't help them, it's because they already had good people that did the right thing by them.
Exactly.
So really,
they're in the best possible position already. Great.
Yeah, it's kind of like
no improvement needed.
Let's flip over some stones, see if we can't find some savings and that kind of thing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that is a gap for business owners in any city really, but in Louisville in particular, I think there's a lot of people that are really good at what they do. Right? They got in. They're good at operations. So they build an HVAC company, they're successful at it, right? And they kind of just go down the railroad tracks. And as long as you have good margin, rarely do you look really closely at expenses, right?
Right.
So is that kind of something that you help with?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's usually those growing businesses, business owner struggling to hold on to all the reins at once, and they can outsource those 2 or 3 or 4 services to me, to Schooley Mitchell, and we monitor them extremely closely, much more closely than most people can do that while running a business, and kind of take care of that for them. A lot of business owners are afraid to let go of control. And I always, yes, believe it or not. But I always say, talk to some of my clients. These people were afraid to let go too. And when I came back with that first quarterly audit, they're like, no, you're not going to stop doing this, right? And what happens at the end of our agreement? Are you still going to keep doing this for me? Because they realize how much time and value that we're able to add to the process that they can't. They just don't have capacity to. They need to go do what they're good at and let us do what we're good at.
Yeah, so it's really a service organization for sure, and that is, I know for sure that's a gap, because the business owners we work with, it's the same thing. They're going,
Right.
and we're all guilty with that. Our time margin, everybody is always really thin on time margin, and I find that inertia is the king of fixing things, right? There's a cost. I have to start that process, and people take a really long time to start that process. What I like about your business is you're out there kind of taking the inertia away and saying, look, you don't have to do all this. I'm going to go do it. I'll bring you back what I can and can't do, and see if that helps you. How about that?
Right.
That's really cool.
For free.
For free. I'm going to work for free to see if I can't save you money. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and that allows you, that's why you're so happy. Jill and I have
all those things.
We have breakfast with a wonderful group of people every Wednesday morning, and it's full of a lot of smiley people like Jill, and hopefully you'll get to meet a lot of them. And that's how I met Jill, is discovering that she was really good at this, and then inviting her into the group, and having another nice person. That way, when we have a business owner that's a client that needs something that you do, we have someone top quality for that.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. It is a great group.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning into the whole series with Jill.
Thank you.
And hopefully you feel like she's wonderful too from getting to watch her on a few videos. And, again, if you didn't see the first two, please go back and find them. They're on both of our LinkedIn and Facebook pages. And, again, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
You can call or text 502-405-1071. Or if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook, you can message me there. And I think you can find my email address both places. So
cool.
Whatever it takes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming and hanging out.
Thanks, Isaac. It's been fun.
It's been fun. And you guys, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you again in another video soon.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.